Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Alpha Life here. We are moving on with our 0 to billion series for our combat section of the series. Now we have made half a billion from mining and project discovery alone. And so for this one we are actually going to move on to combat. So for doing that I have actually started training, as you can see, a lot of skills which might be a little bit troublesome and worrying because we have around 2 million, 2.5 million skill points around that left for us to actually train, which can be very, very problematic because we didn't train a lot of combat skills. We do have a little bit in shields. However, we don't have practically anything in armor, and that is, of course, going to be a little bit of an issue because we are Galente. We are currently Galente, and I believe that it's actually a great race to start with if you're starting in Eve. Thanks to the drones, they make combat a little bit easier, but let's actually take a look into what our path is going to look like eventually. So, what I would like to do for this side of the series are mainly two activities. Abyssal runs, which we can use the Catalyst and the Tristan, but we should obviously start off with the Catalyst. And I would also like to run some combat sites, some hideaways, some refuges, and hopefully some 3 out of 10s. Yeah, I would really, really love to get those because I believe that they are really, really nice. Now, there have been some updates on Eve, as you can see over here. Some Eden.com ships that we did have. Well, they have been getting a little bit more. Also, we have some Concord Assembly, these ones added to the ship tree, and the Society of Conscience thought finally we have gotten those ships into the ship tree, which is really, really nice. Yes, we could try to get a praxis, but I'm not sure we're actually going to get the best out of it right now since we don't have a lot of skills and definitely don't have enough skill points. So what we can do, sorry, I'm a little bit sick right now. What we actually can do instead is try to shoot for Garista's Pirates frigate. The Worm is a ship that knowingly and pretty famously can run calm abyssals pretty easily and somewhat cheaply. I have another Worm in a character that mainly only runs combat sites, sorry, abyssal runs. So for combat sites with this one plus abyssal runs, I think it's really, really good because it mainly focuses on drones, which we have trained. But the thing is that we're also going to have to train into missiles and shields. So I want to get done with all of this stuff so that I can guarantee that we're going to get the most out of our Tristan and that we can eventually go into an Algos, which I believe is the best combat site running ship just for alphas ever. I do believe it's the best one. So yeah, that is going to be our main mission, getting the best Tristan fit that we actually can and the best Algos fit, while maybe having a very cheap, nice little catalyst in order to be able to run or start running some abyssals at least early on. Actually, I think I'm going to move to Spaceship Command and try to get ourselves some Galente Destroyer, which should be on the other side. Here we go, Galente Destroyer. And yes, I am spending the ISK from the last part of the series because, well, we have it. I am, after buying this, I'm actually going to move on to send that ISK to my main character so that we can actually start with this one almost from zero. Yes, we can use the mining ship, the Venture. I think it's a good compensation because I wouldn't recommend you to actually start this off the way that I am starting it. I would recommend you to actually do your career agent missions. They will get you around 10 million, which is really, really good, and they will actually give you a catalyst itself. So, yeah, I do recommend that you get onto that before you actually start doing any of this stuff. But since we are, well, starting out, let's try to get ourselves our starter ship. As you can see, here we are in our starter ship, and I'm gonna try to run some combat sites while we are trying to make the ISK to get the catalyst, or should I just buy the catalyst because you can actually get it from the mission agents pretty much for free. You actually get a little bit extra ISK, around 10 million. I really would recommend you do all of your missions, all of your start missions, absolutely, and it will really benefit you in consuming some of that training time, which will be really, really good. So now, what are we actually going to do to be able to get our catalyst fit? Well, you might be able to see that in my YouTube page I have several series, and you're gonna look for one called the Well-Rounded Alpha series. Now, for that one, I actually do have a catalyst fit that I think is really, really nice for the cheap alpha beginner abyssal catalyst. So, what are we actually going to do? Well, in my other videos, you will see that I have the fit for the catalyst, but you can also go into the ship tree right here. Let's go to the ship tree and start making our catalyst fit from zero, and not this one. Now, for our catalyst fit, the stuff that I actually use in my other video for my starter catalyst build, I have 150mm prototype Gauss guns. Let's take a look into that. Hybrid turrets, railguns, small, yeah, 150, but we want the variations prototype Gauss guns. So now that we have all our Gauss guns, we have 8 Gauss guns, which are gonna be really, really great. Let's actually move on to the mid slots and get ourselves 1 MN monopropellant enduring afterburner, 1 MN afterburner, again variations, enduring 1. Let's go. And then we're gonna use a small compact PV acid cap battery. So for that, we're going to go into engineering equipment, cap batteries, small PV acid cap battery. And as you can see, we already have a little bit of an issue here. We have the power grid overloaded, meaning that we need to get better power grid management and advanced weapon upgrades. How much is it? It's a little bit. It's a good bit. Now for the low slots, we are actually going to go for the small 1A enduring armor repairer. Let's go to here, armor reps, small 1A enduring armor repair. We're also going to get 2 vortex compact magnetic field stabilizers. The ones, no, I don't want harvest equipment. I want turrets and launchers, weapon upgrades, magnetic field stabilizers, that's the one we need. So Vortex Compact, as you can see, it's a little bit more expensive than the Tech one, but I believe it's a lot better. Now, for the rig slots, we are actually going to be getting 1 small capacitor control circuit 1. Let's see where it is. Small capacitor control circuit 1. Actually, 2 of those, and 1 small ancillary current router. Now, this is the fit that we are actually going to want to start off with, and we need some antimatter and plutonium charge S. So plutonium are going to be for our long range, and our antimatter are going to be for our short range. Now, you may see here the CPU and power grid are not good enough for us. We need CPU management and weapon upgrades, and power grid management and advanced weapon upgrades. So what are we ever going to do with that? Let's go into the engineering tab. Let's see, power grid management. We are starting to train it for the last level 34, no, this one. Let's see, power grid management 9 days and CPU management 9 days. So let's actually get you all the way up here, and let's also get you all the way up here. That means it's going to take us 2 weeks before we can actually fly the ship, if that were to be enough upgrades for us to actually use this catalyst, which it may not be because our percentages are so very, very high. Let's actually see how much we are getting from that. From power grid management, we get 5% bonus, and from CPU management, we are also getting some 5% bonus. So we are actually not going to be able to, well, for the power grid, we're going to be good, but for the CPU, we are not. So for the CPU, we actually need to also get view management and weapon upgrades. So let's go back into engineering and let's get our weapon upgrades. Weapon upgrades 4, let's get you, oh, there we go, weapon upgrades 3. So 14. So it's going to take us a rather long time to actually be able to get on the destroyer, and even longer to actually be able to use it properly. So what are we actually going to be doing during that time that we are going to be trying to get into this? Let's actually save this feed as in T05. T0. Now, what we're actually going to do with this, we are actually going to try to go get some missions. I'm going to start with the level 1 missions, not the agents and missions, not the career agents. We're actually going to start with T1 missions, or maybe I should do the career agents. Guys, do let me know down in the description below if we want to get that little bit of extra ISK. We're not gonna do the mining and the industry ones. We can only do the combat ones because of this side of the series, but we are actually going to try to do only combat for now, meaning I'm gonna be looking for missions and combat sites. What are combat sites going to be? Let's see, exploration, combat anomaly. Yes, you. We can run some hideaways, however, I'm gonna save those for when we can actually run the 3 out of 10s, which are gonna be really, really nice. And we are actually going to be looking for some bureaus, and we're gonna be running some level 1 missions to try and get the most out of our starter character, since it's gonna need a lot of time to be able to train up their skills. As you can see, I have 62 days worth of training ready. That means around 2 months, meaning that this character is definitely going to take a while to get to a good position. The good thing is that we already have some pretty good drone skills. I was training those while doing the mining side of the series, and I think it was definitely worth it. Now, if you want to do this for yourself and do it a little bit faster, get yourself 1 million skill points when you start, I have a referral link in the description below, so do feel free to use it as you may. Now, for this one, we are actually going to steal some drones from another one of our ships. You can see we have some good drones. Let's put them in our Bellator and let's go to myths to get our bureau combat site. Yes, this is not going to be the best way to actually do this. Of course, I do recommend you run your career agents a lot. Before doing this, you're already going to have a proper frigate, you're already going to have a proper destroyer, and you're going to be able to do things a lot better than I am just doing this the way I am doing it. And you're going to do a lot more damage, and you're going to do a lot better. But I just want to prove a point that we can actually start with this and take it easy and ease into the combat side of things. I also want you guys to tell me whether or not we should include a low-sec belt rating in the combat side of the series, because if that is the case, it can make this a lot faster, a lot faster. So if we want to include a low-sec asteroid belt rating, which can make us a lot of money with my main, I think that's my main activity, but I do it in nullsec, yeah, it can be really nice. So guys, do let me know down in the description below. Also, I am working on the other videos for other video games. I'm thinking I'm going to start with Horizon Zero Dawn for that one, because it's just the latest game that I finished, and I wanted to make a little quick nice series about it. Yes, I know the game is extremely old, around 7 years old, but I really did enjoy it. So do let me know if you want to see that and what would you like to see. If not, so that I can make another YouTube account where I can upload those other games. Of course, that means I'm gonna upload a little bit less Eve. That's just the way it is, you know. So let's get ourselves into this bureau, and if you're just starting out, wait until you're at least at the Tristan before you start running hideaways, just because they can spawn that 3 out of 10 Serpentis Narcotics Warehouse, which is an absolutely amazing. Why is a Vexor Navy running a bureau? That's a waste of time. So guys, I'm actually going to go back to the Dixie. I'm going to try to get some level 1 missions and try to get some other combat sites so that we can get ourselves into our first frigate and move along with that. So yeah, thank you also very much. Why am I saying goodbye? I'm going to continue this video just a little bit later. So through the power of editing, the magic of editing, we're going to see you a little bit later.
So to start up this series properly, as you can see, we are now at 5,001 ISK. I sent all of our other ISK to my main character just so that we can actually start off at zero and see functionally and properly how long it's actually going to take us to get to that 500 million. Now, for the plan for this one, as you can see, I am in the Corvette and we will not be mining even though I haven't sold our mining ships. We're not going to be mining. This series is, well, this side of the series is going to be entirely about combat. So for that, we actually need to get into a slightly better off ship because starting off with this one is going to be a problem and an annoyance. So I'm gonna do a little bit of project discovery because I haven't done it today. I'm not going to do the full 5 days for this one, but what we are going to want to get into is going to be an Algos. Why an Algos and not a Catalyst? Well, because we already have the drone skills trained up, and I think they are really going to be great for us to move forward while we train up in order to get that Catalyst feed and get a few 3 out of 10s and stuff like that. With the algos, they are going to be really, really easy to get. And as you can see here in the feeds, we can actually see that for the catalyst, we can't currently fly it because, well, CPU and power grid are a little bit overloaded. So I already put the skills necessary just under this gallant destroyer. We're gonna be moving on to CPU management and power grid management. It's going to take around 3 weeks for us to actually get those skills to be able to fly the catalyst and hopefully attempt our first abyssal run. In the meantime, we are actually going to do some project discovery to try and get into an Algos, which shouldn't really be that expensive. Let's view market details. 1 million ISK, that's going to be great, and we're gonna try to fit it for as cheaply as possible. So, yeah, I'm gonna really quickly do the project discovery, and I'll see you guys in a second. We are done with our project discovery. As you can see, we have made around 8 million ISK. We only had 5,000 back a few minutes ago, and so what we're going to do is get straight ahead into an Algos destroyer. So for that, I'm actually going to leave this ship. We're gonna try to get it for the cheapest price possible. I'm gonna leave here. I'm gonna go over here, location, set destination, on dock, and I'm gonna buy an Algos for a little bit over a million ISK, which is actually, I think, a very crazy good price because I think the materials for making this are actually higher, but well, that's good for us, so that's great. Actually, let's see in industry, the Algos blueprint in industry. How expensive is it? Uh, a little bit more expensive. So yeah, definitely a great price buying it for a million. So let's go ahead, get out there, and try to see what kind of fit we can actually make. So we are definitely going to have to use our 5 hobgoblins that we have from our mining ships, and I'm gonna have to buy a few stuff, an afterburner. I would like to get a Microwarpdrive. I'm not sure we can fit it, so we're gonna have to play around a little bit with the fit over there. And I think, let's see, enduring Microwarpdrive, because that would actually be really good. I'm just going to take everything out of these algas to try to make ourselves a nice cheap feed. It's in the system that I mistake the. Here we go. Here is our Algos, however. Let's call it Al. We are going to get on it and go back to Dixie where we have a little bit of stuff. It's only one jump away. And let's start taking off all of this stuff because we're gonna try to get that 5 mAh Microwarpdrive. We're gonna try to get some batteries, the minimum stuff to be able to get our Algos working. A small compact cap battery would be very good. And 125 millimeter guns, I think getting the prototype gas guns right now would be a bit much, so probably the Scout Accelerator cannons are better. Let's actually see market details. 46,000. They are expensive. Let's view market details. 69,000. Let's see for the Caribe. 40,000. And the yeah, I think the Caribe are gonna be the best ones. So I want for 4,000. Okay, so here we are. Let's first of all get ourselves into the inventory. We have, let's see, I think I have a few more in the inventory. Yes, we do. Let's get this fit to active ship. Let's get this fit to active ship. Let's get this fit to active ship. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Not a lot. Let's get ourselves a few more extra guns. One, two, three, four. Let's see what else could we need? Well, we definitely need another cap battery. Well, we need a cap battery. So let's actually go into the mid slots, engineering equipment, and small PV acid cap battery. View market details. We want to. Oh, they are expensive, expensive, expensive. So as you can see, our ISK is going down, but our power grid is going to be a little bit of an issue, but that's okay. Let's get ourselves also damage control. Let's see, hold armor repair, we already have one. Let's see, damage control. Can we use the Tech 2? Yeah, apparently we can. So let's get ourselves Tech 2 damage control. And as you can see, we are going down. Let's get ourselves some drone damage amplifiers. Yeah, we can still fit it. So let's get it. It is 7,000. Oof. We need to get some ammunition also, but I want to get ourselves some rigs. Now, for the actual fit itself that we're gonna use a Tech 1, and the Tech 1. So let's actually see the market details. 500,000 for the Nano bomb. And okay, we can buy two capacitor control circuits. And I think we can buy the Nano bomb right now. Okay, so there we go. We spent around 2 million in getting all of our Algos without ammunition. So we are going to... Okay, so here's our fit. Let's actually get ourselves some antimatter ammunition and get ready to go ahead and get out there, try to get some sights and stuff like that. So let's view market details. I'm gonna get ourselves, what, 5,000? 5,000 ammunition. Let's go ahead, get out there and try to see if we can get any combat exploration sites in combat anomalies. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna fast forward this part. If we get anything good, I'm gonna let you guys know. But I don't want you to just waste a lot of time with me here. So yeah, give me a sec and I will be back with something interesting happening. I did went out hunting for a few sites. Unfortunately, I do not believe that we have gotten any escalations. Yeah, absolutely no escalations. I did do quite a few hideaways and refuges. Of course, this does not count for the first 8 hours of the series. I just wanted to take a little test and see if our brand new Algos was going to be able to put up to the test here. Now, for upgrades, we are actually going to be pursuing that second PV acid cap battery. Right here, how you can see, we don't have the power grid for that just yet, but we are going to be getting there. What else do we have planned for this side of the series? Well, we want to be able to use two more ships, or well, two more feats, which will be a Tristan feat, to be able to run these hideaways and refuges a little bit faster and to run T0 Firestorm Abyssals. And we are also going to start off running these T0 Firestorm Abyssals in a Catalyst, which after you guys let me know in the comments below whether if you want some low-sec content on this side of the series or not, then that will be the ship that we're going to be taking to low-sec to do some low-sec Belfrat hunting and try to get some good ISK that way, because I believe it'll be a lot faster than just staying over here in high sec, meaning that we are pursuing three activities: combat exploration, the abyssal sites, and some low sec ratting. So yeah, guys, do let me know what you think about that. Do let me know what we should or should not pursue. And do let me know if you want me to continue doing the project discovery for this side of the series. I may not be able to do 5 days a week for this project discovery, but if you do want me to, I will let you know how many days and how much we have been making from each one. For today, we actually made 8 million for just for the project discovery, and we spent a good amount of it on the ship itself. And we are actually back to 7 million, even though we have a little bit of stuff that I haven't exactly taken out. We got some good ammunition that I am probably either going to sell or do something else with it. But the main thing that made this run a little bit worth it was this one, the cloud restraint warp disruptor field generator. Absolutely great. It sells for around 4 million ISK, which is actually really good. Oh, it used to sell for higher. Well, 3 million ISK guaranteed, and this one, let's actually check market details for the Shadow of Serpentis 1 million. That's not that much, but it's good enough for a first run, giving us around 5 million ISK. Of course, we're not going to count this stuff as the first episode. We are going to be doing that for next week when I can actually try to put the 8 hours into running this. So, guys, that'll be all from my part for this previous introduction episode for the new side of the series 0 to billion. Moving it on to the combat side of things, and thank you also very much for watching. Just really quickly, let me show you. Yes, I did put a lot of stuff in the training queue. Uh, Armor stuff, gunnery stuff, ship stuff, chirurgical strike, stuff like that, just in order to be able to get us more efficiency while doing our wrapping. So, guys, thank you also very much for watching. This has been the Alpha, and I will see you in the next one.